Hey guys, it's me Anaf and welcome to the channel. In this video I'm starting a new series where I make a blog using the Python Flask web framework. So this may be a 3-video series where I show you guys how to make a blog using Flask, how to integrate an admin page, and how to make a contact form so people can contact you and you can get them through your email. So the reason I've chosen Flask is that Flask is a lightweight web framework, unlike Django, because Django offers a lot of tools that you are bound to use and you can't use any other tools like any third-party tools since Django has all of them. But Flask, on the other hand, it comes with just a few tools and you can integrate a lot of third-party and good tools, and the Flask community has also made lots of third-party tools which are purely made for Flask. So it's really fun to make a website using Flask, and it's really easy. Even beginners can use Flask, and you don't need to use the whole framework like you have to do with Django. So for this blog, I've chosen a theme that I found at Start Bootstrap, and that's called the Clean Blog. It's a free theme. I'm going to be leaving the link in the description so you guys can check it out. And I've chosen this theme because I didn't want to make my own HTML pages, write CSS because I suck at CSS, and also write JavaScript. So I didn't want to do that. That's the reason I've chosen a theme. So I have already downloaded this theme and it's in this folder. Oh, this is my Bandicam folder. Lemma. Okay, so Flask Blog, I made a folder called Flask Blog, and this is the Start Bootstrap theme. So I have this folder, but currently it's not compatible with Flask. So I need to make it compatible with Flask. Also, I have to set up a database for this project, and for this tutorial I'm going to be using MySQL. So I have MySQL and Apache web server running, and I have PHP MyAdmin over here. So I'm going to be using MySQL for this because MySQL is a really good database and I like MySQL more than Postgres. I don't know why, but I just like it. So I'm going to be using MySQL, but you can also use any other source of database, SQL database. For example, you can use SQLite, you can use Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, or Postgres, like anything you want. But I'm going to be using MySQL, so at first, let's make a new database for the blog. So I'm going to be calling it Flask Blog. Oh, it's already over here. Nice. Now, let's create it, and the database Flask Blog has been created. So we're not going to be making any tables over here, but the only thing that we're going to be doing over here is just making the blog compatible with, like the template compatible with Flask. So let me open up Visual Studio Code here, and at first let's make an app file. So we have to make two folders, the templates folder and the static folder. So the templates folder will contain all of the HTML files, and the static folder will contain all of the these fancy CSS JavaScript files. So we have the app.py over here at Visual Studio Code. So let's make the app.py, and I'm just going to be speed coding and importing Flask and setting up all the routes. So I'm going to be explaining to you guys what I'm doing, and then you guys can understand. So from Flask, import Flask. Oh, that's supposed to be capital small f. Now we're going to be making an app object, which is going to be Flask underscore name underscore. So it's going to be our app. Now let's do if underscore name underscore equal to underscore main underscore lots of underscores, then app.run, and debug is going to be true. Okay, so I'm running the app over here, and I made a Flask app. It's a web app. Now let's make a route. So app.route. This is going to be our home page. So /route. Now let's make a function def home page, and now let's return. Oh, we have to import render template. So this will render the HTML files. Render template. Return render template index.html. Now we need to put the index.html in the templates folder. So let's make a new folder let's make a new folder called templates, and let's make a new folder called static. Now let's copy all of the HTML files, copy them, and let's paste them over here. So we've got the HTML files. Now in the static folder we need to use all the CSS, JavaScript, and all the assets, and since this template has a package.json, package.log.json, and they have Sass as CSS, I think it's supposed to be a Node project, a Node.js. So we're going to be copying the vendor. We don't need Sass since we're not going to be using Node, so we're going to be copying the vendor. We don't need mail since mail contains PHP, and I don't like PHP. So vendor, mail, vendor, JS, image, and CSS. Let's copy all of them, and static, and then paste them. So there are lots of things. So it took a bit of time. Now we can run the server. So let's go over here, Python 3. I'm using Ubuntu terminal over here, but if you're using Windows, you can just do python app.py. But since I'm on Ubuntu, I have to do python 3 app.py. Let's run it, and let's go to localhost 5000. And as you can see, it looks hideous since all of the the CSS files are not linked correctly. So let's do that, and now let's check all the vendors. So we have vendor over here, so we are going to be using the vendors and then replacing them with /static/vendor. Bam. Now let's do the /CSS/ and do CSS/ and this. So we only have one. Now do JS/ and we have to use JS/. And the one over here. Now if we refresh the page, as you can see, it's working. Now we need to check the images. So basically what I did over here is that we don't have a vendor folder over here, so it was like this, the vendor, but we don't have a vendor folder over here. So what I did is that go to the directory, the parent directory of this folder, and then go to the static folder, then go to vendor, and then go to bootstrap, and then go to JS, and then you can find the bootstrap bundle.min.js. Okay, so this is what I did over here in all the cases. Now let's do image. So we don't have image over here. I suppose we can do this, and so we only have one image over here. And now let's refresh the page. As you can see, the home page is working correctly. So let's go to the index.html. As you can see, we don't have a route, so we need to fix that. And you can skip this part if you know how to make a theme or template compatible with Flask. And after I have completed all of these, then I'm going to be working on the database. We're going to be using SQL Alchemy for this. Flask is SQL Alchemy, or whatever you want to call it. It's like really good since it's an ORM, and I always use SQL Alchemy for using Flask. So we have the about route over here, but we don't have it. So we go to app.py and let's make a few new routes, which is going to be this one. So this is going to be our about route, and it's going to be about.html. The name is also going to be about. What the hell? Okay, so let me finish all these, and then I'm going to be right back. So sorry, I messed it up. Okay, so post, and this is going to be the post route since we are going to be putting post over here. The post route, and this is going to be our contact route since we are going to be using this for our contact me page. So contact.html. Refresh. Now if we go to the about route, we got this, but we also don't have the CSS matched out with the new structure of the directories. So let's go to the about route and fix this. Now go to CSS/ and do this. Now let's go to vendor. Oh, sorry, it's not sent for, it's vendor. So vendor we have 4, and do this. How about this? Yeah. And now let's go to JS and let's just do this. How about that? So now if we refresh the page, we have everything we need over here. So the about page is okay, but as you can see, the routes are not okay over here. So we have to fix them. Now let's go over here and remove all of the HTML parts. Now let's go over here and make a slash route. It's going to be slash and then delete this. Also, we need to go over here, which I didn't do in this one. So I'll refresh it, and if you go over here, you have all the routes. Now let's work at the post route. So the post route is just going to be simple. We're basically doing the same thing. Oh, sorry, it's the contact route. We need to work on the post route. So the post route, we have all the HTML. Now let's remove all the HTMLs. Now if we do this, and now remove all this, fix the routes, and then do JS. How about that? Now let's do vendor, and do vendor over here. Now do CSS. Now let's refresh. It's working correctly. We just need to fix the images. Routes are okay. Yeah, this one's okay. Now let's do images. Now where do we have the image? Now we do have the image slash. So we need to do it's okay. Refresh. So we have an image over here. And now let's do this one. Bam. CSS. I don't like CSS. Okay, so the post route, the index route, they're all working. Now we only need to fix the contact route. After that, we can get started working with SQL Alchemy and the MySQL database. So let's do this. And do we have any images? Not any images over here. So CSS, then use CSS slash. Okay, these are all okay. So now vendor slash. It's okay. This one's okay. This one's okay. What the hell? What the hell did I do? Oh, frick. I messed it up. I kind of messed it up. Sorry about that. Where the hell did I even mess it up? Yeah, I messed it up over here. Delete this. Yeah, it's not working correctly. Now let's see the contact route. So all the CSS and JS. Are the JS working? No, JS is not working. So we need to fix the JavaScript right now. So JS. And we have to do JS. Bam, bam. Oh. Why do I keep messing this up? Ah, my god. Now let's fix this. We still have some problems with the JS. JQ Bootstrap validation, statics JS. Okay, so what do we have over here? If you go to sample post. Oh yeah, we need to fix all the routes. Now let's go and fix the routes. I'm sorry if you guys are feeling a bit bored, but we have to do this because I'm going to be showing you guys everything I'm doing while making this blog. So let's go over here, and this one will be the slash route. Save it. Okay, so we have made the route, the blog template compatible with Flask. And now what we can do is just make a database. Sorry about that. We have made a database already. Now let's make a table. So for that, we're going to be using Flask SQL Alchemy. Let's see if I have that installed. So pip3 install Flask SQL Alchemy. Now let's wait for it to be installed. And also, since we are going to be using MySQL, the thing that we need to do is install a MySQL driver for Python. So it's installing everything. Okay, so it's working. Now let's install pip3 install PyMysql. So this is the MySQL driver we are going to be using with Python 3 because it's the only one that's working. So this is working. Now let's import SQL Alchemy. So from Flask SQL Alchemy, import SQL Alchemy. Now let's make app.config SQL Alchemy database. Is it database URI? I guess this is the one. Yeah. So SQL Alchemy database URI. This is going to be, I forgot how to do it, so Flask SQL Alchemy database URI. Let's just go to your documentation and let's see what we have. Oh, Bandicam. Okay, so Bandicam is recording, not a big problem. So we have MySQL over here, and sorry about that, I have a sore throat. So the server is localhost, and I don't have a password for my MySQL database, and I only have the root user, and the database is the Flask Blog database that we made. Now let's make the DB is going to be SQL Alchemy app, since we're using SQL Alchemy on this app. Now let's make a class which is going to be all the data that we're going to be storing, all the columns that we're going to be storing in our table. So let's call this table posts, and it's going to be inheriting from db.model since it's a database a table model. So let's do that, and ID. So all the columns, we're going to be specifying all the columns right now. So ID is going to be db.column, db.integer, and primary key is equal to be true. Now the title of the post. So how many things do we have in here? So the localhost. Okay, home. Oh, server's off. Okay, sorry. Python 3 app.py. Let's run it. Okay, so we have the title, the subtitle. We also have the post content, the author, and the date. So title is going to be db.column, db.string 255. Subtitle is going to be the same thing. It's also going to be the same. Now content is going to be db.column. Now this is going to be db.text. And now the author is going to be also db.string. And the date posted. So the date posted is going to be db.column, db.date. Is it date? I forgot. All the models, so Flask SQL Alchemy models, string models, and now what do we have here? Date time. Okay, so this is going to be date time, not date. So this is going to be taking a Python date time object. So yeah, I guess this is it. Yeah, and unique username unique. Oh, this is just a user class. Never mind about that. So we have the post. Okay, it's showing error. So negative SQL bind set. Let's track modifications as significant overhead will be visible by the true. Okay, so this is warning. I don't need to suppress it right now. So now let's make a posts table in our database. We're not going to be using this. We can do this from SQL Alchemy. So let's launch Python 3 and do from app import db. Let's do db.create all. So it's going to be creating all the tables we have over here. It's working. So let's go over here and okay, so for some reason it's not working. And why is it not working? db.create all. Is it that the driver is not working? Do PyMysql. Let's try it now. From app import db. Oh, why is it importing db? db. db.create. Is it still not working? Okay, so for some reason it's not working. What is the problem over here? Okay, so we don't need to do that. What we can do over here is just create db.create all. How about that? Python 3 app.py. So I guess it created the table. So for some reason the table is not found. Is it a problem with MySQL or is it something else? Hi MySQL root at localhost. So SQL Alchemy set up, let me check it. Okay, so guys, after I fix this issue, I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I found the issue. It was just a typo over here. So what we can do right now is just do this. Yeah, it's working right now. Guys, it's working. The problem was just a typo. It was just a typo over here. Just this. Oh my god. So it was small, like non-capital L. It was supposed to be like this. So now we can just remove this and save it, since we already have the table made. Well, I can't believe it was just a little typo. So what we can do right now, okay, so PyMySQL is necessary because I tried it, and without this plus PyMySQL, it's not going to be working in Python 3. And if we're using Python 2, it may work, but Python 3 needs the PyMySQL driver, so you have to do pip to install PyMySQL and then use plus this. So now we have this, and we have the table over here at phpMyAdmin, and it's working perfectly. So now what we can do is just, in the next video, what I'm going to be doing is integrating an admin page to the MySQL database. So it's not going to be a lot of work, since Flask has a module already called Flask Admin, which will allow us to just, use the models that we have created for our tables and then show them in a neat admin page that Flask Admin has made, like, by default. So thanks for watching, guys, in this video, because it was a bit boring, but I hope you learned how to make a table and how to make a template compatible with Flask. So if you did enjoy this video, be sure to like it and subscribe to my channel. Also, share it with your friends and family if they're interested in Python and Flask, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So peace out.